Ooh, thanks for the resubscribe, Vernicious. Welcome, everybody. We will be starting very soon. Until then, please enjoy this very soothing forest mix.
Wow. Oh, hey!
I asked if you were ready. Hello, everybody. Can you find me? I'm hiding on the screen today. Welcome to episode 45 of PinTech Live. And look, we have a special guest with us who is not actually that short. TJ looks very short standing next to
Here, you stand in front and make me look taller.
Kyle
Something like that. There. Well,
I'll stand behind the game too. Does it make it look better?
I still feel
we
short.
Do some Gandalf and Hobbits type of aspect.
The camera's in a weird spot.
TJ, I'm small. TJ's small. Kyle's always huge.
I am an int.
Oh, an int.
Yeah, I guess I should have said that deeper and slower.
So we have a fun episode planned for you guys today. We're going to do some unique tricks of the trade that TJ has for us, and we're excited to share that with you. Before we start, let's do a mic check with Kyle and TJ. You guys talk a little bit. Tell us about what you guys did this morning, and then everyone in the chat, let us know how their mic sounds.
Okay.
So this morning we went to Waffle House, waffles and grilled cheese for me.
I had a bowl of grits, and it was delicious.
And then pizza for lunch.
Pizza for lunch. TJ got a full tour of the Marco facilities. He got to see where pinball parts come from.
It was pretty cool. It was much more efficiently packed than I imagined, but it needs to be to have thousands of individual parts and hundreds of each part.
It's awesome. Yeah. Oh, we have Mark Girarelli here today.
Oh.
He said, fun fact, thank TJ for USA 13 pricing.
So USA 13 pricing on Stern Pinballs is 1 game for $1 and 7 games for $5. And it pushes the bonus a little bit further out to encourage $5 bills in bill acceptors on street locations.
Which is awesome. Now, if Guido would take my request, can we please make it so the replay reset goes down by 100s instead of 10s? Please, please. When I want to turn off the high score, I'm sorry, not replay, the high score reset, it takes a long time to get it down to 0. Come on. How's our mic sound?
We sound good. You guys obviously are masked, so we apologize for the muffling sound, but I think everyone can hear you. You all right? I'm like the Predator. Ooh, I like that.
Can you make the Predator sounds?
Is it like the clicking sound? Like.
Yeah, it's like a cat purring slowed down like 10,000 times with reverb.
Oh, Brian O'Neill says, TJ!
Well, we got a Jungle Lord here for Brian O'Neill. If he'd just come pick it up, he could have it.
Yeah, come on, Brian, get down here. But you can bring me one of your games, and we can have each other's pinball machines. Come on.
Let's see. Can I get another camera angle on you guys?
Maybe?
Like seeing where you guys are standing. Wait.
Well, there's 2 of almost the same camera angle.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
there we go.
Oh, that one's better.
Sides.
I'm almost decapitated.
This is the best one. Okay, well, before we go to TJ's awesome tutorial, which we'll let him and Kyle explain about, let's just jump in real quick and do our product spotlight.
Okay, that sounds
fun.
For that? Sure.
Are you guys in the chat ready for that little product spotlight? This is my favorite Marco product right now. Here we go.
Alien poker? I love alien poker.
No, that's not the spotlight.
What? Well, alien poker could be the spotlight if we had an alien poker and if we sold them. Wow. Bulb Yankee. So.
It's the Bulb Yankee.
The Bulb Yankee. Okay, I have a Bulb Yankee. This is my old bulb, Yankee. Oh wait, hold on, which camera is it? Is it this one? Okay.
Yep, the Sony.
Hey, I'm tall. It's time to retire my old bulb puller. This thing's old. It's seen a lot of better days. It's time to upgrade to a custom branded, probably out of focus, Marco branded bulb puller. Kind of cool. The picture that we used to make the product spotlight is very outdated. This is new. We just got these. They're awesome. And they say Marco on them. Handy tool. Let me show you how it's used. Can you switch over?
Yep. Let's see. Wait. We want to go to the handheld camera.
Bam!
Ooh, look at this shot. This is a nice shot.
This is a bad example because here you can easily get your little fingers on here and yank this bulb out. But
you don't want to touch it with the oils on your fingers.
Well, most of the time you're using this to get rid of things that you're not going to use anymore, right? But there are times when these bulbs are very recessed and they might not be able to be removed by removing the socket from the bottom of the playfield. So this is not the best example, but I can demonstrate the way these work. It's awesome. You'll see on lots of older games, sometimes the general illumination bulbs are recessed, my fingernails width down into the playfield, and all you have is 10, 5, 8 millimeters sticking above. With this tool, you can grab the bulb, depress, and turn. A lot of bulbs, especially ones that are stuck, I mean, look at the corrosion on the base of this bulb. When they get really, really nasty, sometimes they're really hard to budge. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who has squeezed the glass dome enough and made it pop and explode in my fingers. This is a great tool to never have that happen again. So since I did not want to disassemble this game all the way to find a better bulb, they're handy. They're not very expensive. It's a great addition to your toolbox, especially when you're working on older games. Newer games, if they're not, a lot of the times you can remove the sockets from the bottom of the playfield, so you don't need to do the work from the top. But on these older games, this is invaluable. So you should buy one. They're really cool.
Can you, let's put the bulb, Yankee, in this camera so we can get a nice close-up view of... Look at that beautiful logo.
It says Marco, and it's dark as heck.
Back the camera up a little bit. That's beautiful.
Rubberized tip for grip. Convenient for 2 fingers to sit inside the little scissor handle. It's a good tool. You definitely will utilize it more than you think you will. So I recommend picking one up. Maybe using today's free shipping code, which I don't remember.
PT-Tiger Eye.
Oh yeah, Tiger Eye. Because of the original graphic, which shows the tiger eye. Oh, you moved the cameras.
I came back.
Oh.
Welcome back. Kyle's not here. He's gone.
Where am I?
I know, where are you?
Okay. That was fun. Everyone's like, oh, I'm going to go buy like 5 of those and give them to everybody that I know.
Oh, they make such great gifts. Right?
Seriously. Pinball stocking stuffer.
Yankee in their life. All right, Kyle, let's get back on camera, and then we're going to take a step back figuratively. And we made the assumption that everyone just automatically knows who TJ Beyer is. Because we all know who he is. He's amazing. But let's give him a nice introduction. So, Kyle, introduce TJ to the world.
I don't know if I'm qualified.
He's judging you right now.
So, I'm TJ. I'm going to introduce myself. I've been playing pinball since I was 7 years old. I've been working on arcade games, pinball machines, for 27 years now. I'm one of the co-founders of California Extreme. Back in the 1997 was our first show. And then I'm a game operator, and I do tech work for several local arcades in the San Francisco Bay Area. I enjoy playing competitive pinball, and I enjoy fixing games. It's what I do for a living, and it's a passion of mine. And I enjoy making games more fun and also bringing pinball joy to people.
That is the best part of doing pinball, I think, is to make people happy through pinball.
That's beautiful.
That's a good one.
Awesome.
But you also I mean, for just a quick step back too, it's not, you don't just do pinball.
I do pinball, arcade games, ticket redemption games, all of the newer stuff that you would see in an arcade today if they were open during COVID. My arcade locations and street locations have been closed since last March, so we're coming up on almost a year of that. And in the past few months, I've picked up some work from somebody that Kyle worked for before he came out to Marco, which is Pinball Pirate, and they're in the Bay Area. Chris is a great guy, actually knows more than I do about games, so I'm still learning from him, but he's also learning stuff from me occasionally, and I enjoy working with him. I've known him for 25 years, and shout out to Michelle and Jeannie also, who are great people.
I miss them.
I miss them too, and I've only been gone for a few days.
I've been gone for a little more than a year, and I miss them very much.
Hey, Kyle, double check your mic. Everyone's saying your lav's not coming in. TJ sounds great. Kyle, you're fired. I'm just kidding. Everyone loves TJ. NT Hits on Twitch said TJ saved location pinball in Oakland, California.
That's right.
So when I moved to Oakland, I had a party in our loft with 15 pinball machines, invited a bunch of the local community, and after the party shut down because we had a 10 p.m. noise curfew, we went out to a local location to play pinball, and it was dismal. They had 3 machines, and all 3 of them were very crippled in just an unplayable way that made it not fun. Over the next year, I started placing games at various locations in Oakland, working my way up to more than half of the pinball machines in Oakland were mine. And then we got some other operators stepped in, and Emporium opened, which has a great lineup of pins. It's the collection grew from there, and then I migrated over towards San Francisco. But I'm looking forward to location pinball coming back and being another fun thing to do again.
Aren't we all?
In the meantime, I've also picked up some service calls for some of the player base within the local area, local community, doing service on their machines in their house. So if you have games in your house that you might have been putting off service, reach out to your local operator if you know who they are, if you've got a good relationship with them, and offer them the opportunity to come work on your games and pay them a reasonable rate. They would appreciate the work because it's dragging on in many states.
Yeah, the livelihood is just gone, right? It's try to do whatever you can to support your local operator now and when everything opens back up. Because without them, you wouldn't have games to play.
Local operators may also be open to renting you pinball machines. Typically, $300 or $400 a month gets you a game in your house on free play. Some operators have a minimum number of months, 2 or 3 months. Some have a delivery fee. Just work with them and be nice and support them, but you also get a newer game in your house to play that you might not have played yet or might not have gotten a chance to go into the rules very deeply on.
That's awesome. Nice. That was a great introduction. Everyone's so excited in the chat room to see you here. So thanks for joining us today, TJ.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Kyle, your mic is still not working.
Not working at all?
Is it charged?
It's charged. It's on. It's turned all the way up. I don't get anything?
No, we're only picking up your sound from TJ's mic.
Talking. No.
Yes, TJ is on pin swap. Right, TJ?
Here, I'll come stand over here.
Okay. I'm talking now into my microphone. Is it working? I see levels on the computer. Can anyone hear me?
Can you talk quieter?
I can talk quieter. I'm talking in a slightly more normal voice.
No, like whisper, like ASMR.
I can't do that. My throat
Like,
is too damaged from smoking cigarettes.
Hi, my name is Kyle.
Cannot whisper. Cannot whisper.
Yeah.
I can't speak quietly.
I don't know. Sounds far away? Yeah, I think it's...
What if I take my mask off like this? How does it sound now?
Tap on it. So maybe you're not turned up all the way.
It is. No, seriously.
It's working just low. They say you too low. Go the opposite way. I don't even know if that's a thing.
It's pushing the down button and it makes the blue go away. Now I'm quieter. Now it's up louder.
Okay.
Turn
So
it
now
up to
talk.
11. I'm talking loudly now in a normal voice. It looks like I'm peaking. There we
Yeah,
go.
we're
Okay.
good. Okay, so now let's have TJ. Now let's have TJ talk, and we might have to turn his down.
So I'm now back over here talking,
Oh, okay, that
and
looks good.
I don't really have anything to say right now.
You will
Good,
soon, though,
good.
so we
All
need
right,
your
everyone
mic to
says
work.
we're good. Brian said, "Turn it up to 11."
We're trying to.
No, I think we're good now. Awesome.
Okay, good. Sorry about that.
Sorry for that little.
We don't often
Audio.
use both transmitters at one time, so.
Yay.
Okay.
Okay, so now look, you guys are all probably wondering why is the camera so zoomed out and we have this huge wide view of our little studio setup. So, oh. Just-
Whoa, that actually zoomed in on something really rad. Okay, sorry about that.
we fixed it.
I had to do that.
All right, let's explain to them what we are about to see because this is exciting.
So moving pinball machines is an art form. I've been to many shows and seen various painful ways that people move pinball machines. I'm not saying that my way is the only way to move them, but I have a refined technique that I've used for many years that is pretty simple and can be done with one person if you're strong enough to move machines around. So I was going to demonstrate that. If you watch the Ninja Turtles setup, you probably saw part of that with the unboxing of the Stern Ninja Turtles last summer. But I figured I'd mention the various steps to go through when you go to buy a machine from somebody, what to bring, and how to go about preparing it for transport and actually moving it. So,
Shall we do it?
yeah, let's do
Let's
that.
do it.
So you go purchase a machine. The first thing to do is take the balls out of it. You'll want to remove the glass.
On the new Stern games, unless you know what you're doing, like TJ, you do want to close the coin door. If you put enough pressure upwards on the glass, it won't hit the coin door, but just a side note, because I have seen newbies scratch their glass
Jersey
before.
Jack games in particular, the door may scratch the inside of the glass. Lift the playfield, remove the balls. Most games will have a coin box with a lid. I recommend putting everything inside of it, along with any other loose stuff that was inside the game. If you don't have a coin box, you can use a Ziploc bag or another container. Make sure there's nothing else in the bottom of the game. This is a brand new game, so there's no random parts. Put the glass back on. At this point, you want to get a moving blanket or cardboard.
Nice.
Toss that over. This is pre-folded in half. Get it so it drapes over the side of the machine down to about the bottom. You'll want to undo the head, which this has the 2 bolts on the back. On some games, the head bolts are inside the back glass. Some games have the wrench that unlocks it on the back. Whatever method you choose, it's time consuming. You're going to want to lower the back glass onto the blanket or back box. Onto the blanket so it's protected. Put the extra hardware in the coin box or aside where you'll forget it.
Pockets are good if you have mini pockets or large pockets.
You'll want a ratcheting strap, which you toss under the game, fold the blanket up over the sides of the head.
Oh, yeah.
This not only protects the side art on the head, it protects the T-molding trim, and also gives you a soft spot to put the ratchet.
Everyone's asking if you're going to make the machine disappear.
No.
Technically, yes.
I'm going to cut it in half.
Yeah. I'm going to get inside, and he's going to cut me in half.
Can you zoom in on this? A trick with the ratchet straps is to tie a knot in the end of it, in the loose end. So when you toss them in your truck, they don't come undone. A lot of times people will have a box of straps that it's the ratchet end and the other end, and it's just a mess.
Yeah, big knots.
But if you tie a knot in the loose end, it doesn't work its way back through the ratchet.
Nice. Pro tips.
Take a hand truck, put it under the game with the nose of the hand truck, the blade facing up. Like that. While it's still standing on all four legs, it's easiest to remove the 2 bolts from the back legs, one from each, before you get to the point where you're supporting it.
This is so exciting. So with this method, someone like me would be able to do it too?
If you're comfortable
too
lifting
small?
half of a pinball machine, you can do it. So if you and a friend normally move machines together, and you wind up in a pinch and need to do this by yourself, you can. If you're not super comfortable with it, then I would still have a friend. It's a lot easier with 2 people. At this point, I'm going to loosen the 1 bolt that's left, lift the machine, put a foot on the dolly underneath, and set it on my leg. Using the dolly makes it so that your leg makes a nice bend. If you're super tall like Kyle, you probably don't need your foot on the dolly.
He just bends his leg in
I just
general.
bend over a little bit.
So now I've got one of the legs off. I'm going to set the foot on the ground and gently drop it. Works on carpet. If you're on cement, maybe lay out an extra moving blanket.
Oh, sorry, Nolan. We'll be your friends.
If you have a friend, you can hand them the legs.
It's the best benefit of having friends, is making them do things for you.
Here, you're a friend. Come get these.
Take my legs.
Got your legs.
So the machine is balanced on the front legs and balanced on my knee. I'm going to grab the inside of the head, grab the bottom of the machine, slide the dolly back, and lower the game onto the dolly while bending at your knees. The trick with the dolly is to not have to bend all the way down to the floor to drop the machine. With the physics involved, this is actually the hardest distance to lower and lift the machine, and having it on the dolly makes it much easier.
That's big. It really is. This is a huge game changer.
This is amazing.
Not having to bend over. And again, it's like even if you're tall like me, right? I have to use I have to bend my back a whole lot less to
so
get down and pick this up.
I hope all of your faces look like my face right now. Like
The important thing is to lower it down, keep your back straight as much as possible, and bend with your knees. From here, you lift the machine, and then you take off the front legs, and you're good to go.
And now you're mobile.
Yay!
Now,
that was awesome.
So there are tricks for setting it up. If you're moving it within a location, and you want some extra leverage, or you're moving it out towards your vehicle, you can tip the machine this way, and these actually give you decent handles.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Once you take the legs off, I will often use the coin return slots to grab and tip it towards me.
Because if you just pull on the dolly, the machine wants to cantilever out, right?
Yeah, that's scary. Don't do that.
So for the rest of the setup, I'm not going to take off the front legs, but from here you can tip it into a pickup truck or a minivan, SUV or whatever. Or if you're loading into a box truck, you can just load them upright and then strap them to the wall.
Indie Pin says, now how do you get it up the stairs?
You have a stair climber dolly for that.
Yeah. Or if you're me, you take the whole game apart. And
what if you don't? Then
if
what
you
do
don't, the Stern games actually come apart very easily. The new Spike games. There's, I think, 3 connectors, sometimes 4, for the playfield, and you take out the playfield, you take off the head with a couple more connectors, and you carry everything up in pieces. It actually gets pretty manageable to where one person can do most of it, but if you have a friend helping, it's really easy.
With the new Stern games, with just this dolly, like a Magliner, any normal dolly, 2 people can pretty easily get a game up the stairs, especially these new Stern games because they are so light. But if you do need to do it by yourself and you do not have anyone that wants to do this insane task, it really is not difficult, and that might be a good episode later to show how to take the Stern head off. It's quite easy. It's not as scary as you might think it would be, and it does... once you take the playfield out, once you take the head off, it's just a gigantic plywood box that does not weigh too much. So,
a note that if you're going to try and get games up the stairs with a dolly with a friend is to tie the dolly to the machine by going around this way with the strap. I will usually lay the strap out on the floor and then move the game onto the strap and then ratchet it up. That helps prevent the person on the bottom end from lifting the game off of the dolly, and then the dolly comes and hits them in the shins, and now you've got a giant mess that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
Nope.
Look how easy it makes it look. What is the, you have like pool noodles or something around the dolly?
Yeah, so I have pool noodles on the dolly, which is more for arcade games. But it makes it so that the dolly doesn't contact the games and scratch up the side art.
On pinball, it's not as important, I guess, because most of the time you're lifting it from the bottom of the game, but, it really doesn't take much effort or money to put pool noodles on your dolly. It will save scratchies.
Save scratchies.
Save you from scratchies, I guess.
That's awesome. Yay, thank you for that demo. That's great. So now what are you guys going to do with the Led Zeppelin game?
I'm going to put the back
take it to
legs
my
on.
house. Oh, dang.
There's the rest of the trick for getting it back on legs.
Oh, yeah.
I will put one leg bolt in each of the legs on the bottom leg bolt hole, and then place the legs on the top of the machine. And the idea is that you want the back or the bottom of the leg to catch on the back of the head.
Oh.
This will make sense soon.
You have the other leg bolts are nearby. I will usually put them on the blanket. You want your wrench nearby. Also on the blanket. When you lift the head, or when you lift the machine, the legs will actually catch on the back of the head and should not slide off. Occasionally they might. So for this part, you want to bend at the knees. Have a helper if you're unsure of doing it. You can have a stool nearby to shove underneath the game once you get it up. Or you can just put your foot on the dolly like I did before. So a lot of that lift was actually upper back and shoulders and not lower back. There was no bending involved. And that's a safe way to move machines. So you notice that the leg is within reach, the leg bolts are within reach.
Yeah, it is magic.
While people watch you do this at California Extreme, they always reach their arms for the legs as you lift the game up, don't they?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a natural, instinctive reaction, and it's something that I quietly smile about.
You're like, no.
Yeah, people think the legs are going to go flying off as soon as the game gets lifted up, but we've thought about that.
Leg hacks.
TJ taught me this method, and there's no going back if you have the dolly.
Yeah. This is amazing. Someone mentioned earlier in the chat about doing races, like setting up the pinball machine or taking down a pinball machine to move it races, like where each of you line up and whoever can get it strapped on the dolly first wins. Have you guys ever done
thought
anything
that
like
would be fun.
like a fireman drill?
But I've also thought that it could result in carelessness and damage.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you're doing it with
maybe
your
what
own
we would do,
machines
we'd
at a
have to
show.
get games that are not that are okay to maybe mess up. Maybe just cabinets.
Do it to your own games, but don't do it while you're setting up other people's games at a pinball show or a video game show or
No,
something.
it would be like a competition. Like you guys would sign up for it. We'd have a bunch of like old cabinets, and then
I'm able to get,
race.
when I was taking a lot of games out of boxes at the shop,
pit crew race.
I used to be able to get a new Stern game out of the box,
Correct.
on its legs, box cut down and ready, or in the garbage in about 21 to 22 minutes. And that was my best.
Nice. I bet TJ can do it in 10.
I bet he can do it a lot
wait.
faster.
The little flippers are here.
Yay!
Hey, I miss you guys. I'm sure TJ does too.
Well, I saw them a couple weeks ago,
No.
but I still miss
you're
them.
So lucky. I get to see them on Facebook. Luckily, you get good.
So now we have
flipper
pinball.
content.
So now come volunteer to be on the MVP team at every single arcade and pinball show ever, the setup crew. You are the most important people at the show. Without you,
Yay.
well, without the people bringing the games and without the people setting them up, there would be no show. So.
When you go to set up a pinball machine head, one of the most important things is to hold the back glass in while you lift the head. Less important on new games, but still important. Many older games, System 11, WPC especially, the back glass may shift, the speaker panel may shift, and things will fall out, especially if the back box lock is missing. So I've gotten in the habit of reach under, hold the glass, check for wiring, finish putting the head up.
Nice.
Look at that. Everyone learns something.
That was amazing.
It's easy.
Welcome, Independence.
It's easier with friends, but it's not impossible to do yourself.
If your coin box has a lid, it will stay within the game in its place with the door closed. If you open the door, everything is going to fall out while it's on end. But it's a good place to put things that belong within the machine during transport.
Yeah, the coin box has a loop that it kind of is held in, like from falling into the back of the game. And once the door is closed, the coin acceptors or the coin mechs will go in and hold it flat against the bottom of the cabinet. So it can be on its back without the coin box going dunk. The coin box is the safest and best place to keep things. So have one and keep one with your game. So yeah, look at that. Now we can play Led Zeppelin, but
now
we're
we
not
can
going.
play, but just kidding. So for everyone that's just joining us, like the Wisp, we
Yo.
just had an awesome tutorial from TJ on how to
Move a
I
pinball
wanted to say
machine.
disassemble, but that's not the right word, right?
Collapsing?
Prepare for moving, I guess.
How to break down your pinball
There you
machine
go.
to move it, and how to move your pinball machine to set it up really quickly. So if you missed it, watch our archives on YouTube later. It's a great tip.
Not just move it quickly, but also move it with good body mechanics, so you
transport. Thank you.
don't hurt
Independent.
yourself.
How to get your pin ready for transport.
So before the stream started, I was looking around the space here, and I found this really cool warning sticker from Indy 500. If you can zoom in on that.
hands eat race cars eat hands. Do not do.
Their fingers are chopped off. That's so.
It's gruesome.
That's what'll happen.
Popeye has a similar warning sticker on the spinning skill shot wheel, but it's a It's less. There's no car on it. It's just a spinning wheel with fingers getting sliced.
That's how sharp it is?
I don't know that it's sharp.
And chop your fingers off and the bones.
It's trying to put the fear of it in you. I don't think it would actually.
I'm scared.
The Indy 500 car actually spins at a high rate of speed. The Popeye has holes that your fingers can go through the wheel and then get to an obstruction and blood, I guess.
Yeah, cheese grater them.
Yes.
Oh no! See, that sounds terrible. And then a lot of people are saying Doctor Who as well too. That's for that.
Doctor Who has the mini playfield. If you have a Doctor Who at home, change the language, which is standard adjustment 21 or 26. Change it to French and German for the warning in a different voice.
It's hilarious.
I think the German one just sounds really angry.
Yeah. Well, most German sounds extraordinarily angry, but we love that. Most people, I've seen a lot of weird hacks on Doctor Who's, like, well, I mean, I'm guilty of folding up a business card and, like, stuffing it into the Switch. It's just like, all right, I need to work on this thing. Like, stop telling me I'm going to lose my fingers. I used to know that by heart. What does it say? Warning.
Keep hands away from mini playfield. And
Right,
something about seeing the manual
shaking
title
his-
page for more information.
That's it. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Awesome. Well, that was fun. What's next, Kyle?
I don't know. Let's just end it there. That was great. I couldn't do any better. I think we should.
We're gonna look at Jungle Lord a little bit and take off the plastics and start some general disassembly.
Yeah, I think.
Getting ready for some more PinTech live tutorials
Let's
for the
move.
days and weeks to come. So I would love for someone to pan the camera to Jungle Lord, or are you gonna bring Jungle Lord in? Yeah, maybe walk Jungle Lord into the frame.
While Kyle's doing that, we have pizza left if anyone wants any.
Yeah, come on over.
It was enough to get Emoto to make pizza rolls earlier, so if you wind up eating pizza tonight,
rolls.
you're welcome.
It's not as good, and I haven't been able to eat. You guys
Now
don't
everyone's
wanna
gonna see my
watch
butt.
us eat on camera. Be like, bam bomb, pizza.
I guess I could have walked around to do this, but I wanted to do it the hard way. Ugh.
See, I don't even have to bend over to do that. I just walk straight under the machine. The worst thing, if Guido is still here, everyone loves where they change the stern power switch back there. I guess that's an operator's thing, maybe. TJ, do you know why it got moved back? To the back
I'm
box
told that it
instead of
got moved to remove the 110 volts line voltage from the body of the cabinet and keep it all in the head for, I think, UL certification, but also reduction in RF noise and
requirement. Nice.
and there's no transformer in the bottom. It makes sense to just put it with the power supply.
Yeah,
In the head.
It saves
I
a lot
have
of.
such short arms that I can't reach them now. So I literally have to crawl under the pinball machine and then reach up like this and then flick it on. So
You need like an arm
people
extender.
problems.
Maybe we'll make a custom Emoto switch actuator or something.
Yes.
It
Like one of
saves-
those dinosaur grabby mouth things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just be like, "Brat," like smash.
It has a little trigger with a finger, and you pull it, it just goes click. It saves a lot of wire,
It's so
and
easy for me.
it just makes more sense
didn't
to
have
have
to
it
bend
where
it.
the power supply is, right? Like, I think it makes a lot of sense. It's just awkward because every time I want to play it, I go reach for the
Other
power
people's
switch
being
here.
brat.
Guido says UL requirement for moving the power switch.
Makes sense.
Nice. Yeah.
And now I think I
don't
unplugged
want
it from
some
the
of your
wall.
Pizza. It's lunchtime.
I'll bring some back for her. It'll be really gross by the time it gets back, though.
Cold, soggy, and still, just the way we like it.
Did I
We should
unplug
get
it?
one of these. BBC. I'm gonna look it up. Plastic hand on sticks given out to test fire alarms.
Nice.
Awesome. We could get these little finger pointer sticks and brand them
There you go.
and say they're for the new Star games.
We could wire up a little like motor with a cam and magnetize it to the bottom of the pinball game, and then you flip a switch for that, and it flips the switch for you. That's what we're gonna do. A useless robot.
Or maybe add a new action button on top, just for me to turn on the game.
Emoto customization.
Yeah.
Okay, what's wrong with this piece of
A note
junk?
on the preparing a pinball for setup. I picked one of the Spike games because they're much lighter. If you're moving a Twilight Zone or Bonsai Run, something else that was made by Pat Lawler, they are incredibly heavy, and you really should get a second person.
Have you ever had to move a Hercules?
Luckily, no.
Did you ever get to crawl into the one at the PPM?
No.
That's very fun. It's got hatches.
I've seen the hatches.
Star Trek Next Generation, is that a really heavy game?
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
The thing with Star Trek, though, is we had one, we still have one, has been reliable for about 15 years. The trick on that game is to never fold the head when you move it. It's a lot of extra pain, a lot of extra effort to move it that way because now you need pinball skates and definitely a second person. But when you fold the head, the wiring pulls on a bunch of assemblies underneath the playfield, can pull connectors off the boards, and it's just we found that issues showed up after moving it that way, after moving it while folding the head, but once we started not folding the head when we moved it, it was significantly more reliable.
Nice.
I missed that
Kyle,
game.
where are you? Put your head in the chat. We just got raided by Loose Flip with a party of 58.
Awesome.
Hallo! Wie geht's,
Thank you,
meine
Loose
Freunde?
Flip. We love you.
We love you.
Germany.
How are you, Andy? I hope all's well.
Andy, thank you.
Oh, this game's gross. It spent too much time on its back. There's a lot of crap back here, and I'm excited to get to it. But I think I want
What
to.
is up with this camera?
Which one?
This is the Sony.
It's just not focusing. It's like it's in a muddy cesspool of terribleness.
All right, mTort,
Well,
if you're here, can you approve a new camera budget? Because we're sick of this thing. It's a great playfield
I
camera.
have a camera budget. I just need to
Oh,
get it. So let's
so you're
pan
shifting the blame.
cam. It is me. Yeah,
I know.
that's totally me.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
I
making
didn't
fun
think
of
you
you.
were ready yet, but I think you're
Oh.
ready.
You're not ready to believe. So
You're ready. You're ready to have the expert level camera.
maybe.
I mean the level 4 camera.
Well, I think it's time to make this PinTech live with Steve, so I can just be the cameraman actually, because I really enjoyed like shifting the camera and like focusing on TJ and zooming lightly. I think I missed my calling in life actually.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Good at it. TJ's doing good too. So TJ lives in the Bay Area in California, and he's visiting us and doing some work in South Carolina or the Carolinas too, right?
Yes, I have.
He's on a workcation.
Yeah.
And
so what
It
are
doesn't
you
feel
doing
like
down
work
here?
either.
cool when you do what you love.
It's been many months since I've done arcade, like deluxe arcade stuff and ticket redemption stuff. So I've managed to set up a gig of installing card systems for Amusement Connect. And it's
That's
a
awesome.
card swipe system for arcades, and they've been sending me on installs. So I've been enjoying that during the pandemic months of not being able to do what I normally do.
So for
Nice.
people who
And
don't
are you
understand,
cross country or are you flying?
I'm flying. My driving limit is about 12 hours.
What?
If it's within 12 hours, I'll drive somewhere, like Seattle or Vegas, Salt Lake City.
It's just 12 hours a couple of times to get.
yeah, I got here in
Close to
4
it,
days,
close.
man. 10
Yeah,
hours a
but
day.
when it's 12 hours of only Texas, like that's a bit much.
That is a bit much. And when you
No,
get into
do the northern
Oklahoma,
route.
there's no
Don't
respite
ever
there.
Go through, don't take the 10.
Yeah, I took the 10 once, and I had an
Oh, yeah.
entire day of Texas.
Never.
Well, when I
never.
moved here, I had to take the 10 because if I would have taken the 40,
The 40.
I would have been snowed in, and I didn't really particularly feel like driving through snow, you
That's
know.
true. You came during January time.
December.
Yeah.
We still got
Yeah,
snowed
the
in when we were
Flagstaff,
driving
it
through
gets kinda
Arizona a
rough
little
over
bit,
there.
but huh.
Drive
So
north,
Indie
limit
Pins
is
asks,
5.
I live
5
near San
miles.
Francisco.
That's
The
awesome.
wonderful Bay Area.
All right, let's get the handheld camera up.
Oh, it's over.
There we go.
TJ and I used to almost be neighbors. Almost. Just across one bridge. I'm gonna try to get all the plastics off on this guy, because what we're gonna do is I don't like, there's no rules to shopping a game, right? And I don't like the term shopping, right? But when you get a game and you want to get work done on it, when you get it, it's good to take it apart, right? We've talked about this. We want to clean. We want to get into places people have never cleaned. We want to tighten everything. We want to make sure that our posts are not loosey-goosey. We want to do all of that. What were you saying, Amoto?
I was thanking APB for resubscribing for 8 months.
Whoa! Thanks.
Have we been doing this show for 8 months?
We've been doing this show for almost a year. I think we started doing it in April, right?
Yep. Last kid tagged, awesome tip. Don't forget to take lots of pictures as you take it apart.
Luckily, we have video that is archived.
We're
that is true.
taking 30 pictures a second on several angles. Oh, what's going on here? There we go.
Pictures are handy.
I never noticed that, like, the art from the first level to the second level, the like helmets, battle helmets.
Yeah,
In
jungle
the jungle?
helmets.
I'm so confused.
It was Constantino Mitchell, so don't ask too much. I don't think he knew what he was doing either.
Though. I want that like as a sticker.
Jungle
maybe a
Lord.
tattoo.
Well, I got the short guy out. You've got the perfect angle though. This is a plastic. Let me see if I rotate it this way. On this game, you've got a lot of very commonly broken plastics. This one, on mine, this one wasn't even here because the plastic is like a few millimeters above a stand-up target, so it always just gets bashed into and explodes. The tip of this one is always broken because same thing. And this one is always broken because people do not take the balls out before they transport the game, and it goes and flies out and smashes this plastic. So there's 3 very commonly broken Jungle Lord plastics. Thankfully, mine isn't busted. We will be removing these and scanning them for posterity. Make sure that we will always have a nice, good scan of the artwork. I'm gonna take off these guys here. This thing's actually really clean. Remember when we looked at this game the first time, we did find that like 1998 Papa, invitational invitation inside. So whoever owned this game at one point definitely was someone who really liked pinball. And that's why I can imagine it has been kept. That's why it is in such okay shape. This game will come together very nicely. I'm very pleased with this. I think I've said that a bazillion times since I've got it. But it's pretty simple topside. It doesn't have a huge rubber bill. This game is a lot more difficult to work on from the underside just because of the dual playfield. The first playfield really does stop about here. And then we have a secondary playfield. The bill of material on this game must have just been absolutely insane. We have 4 drop target banks.
Mini little bagatelle.
3 drop target banks. We've got the goofy little bagatelle. They use almost every solenoid drive on this game. 4 flippers, 2 lanes. Williams was really trying to spend a lot of money to make games better than Bally. Arguably, they might have in a few instances.
Thanks, Midge. I was just about to ask that.
How many people in the chat have actually played Jungle Lord?
Brian.
Well,
Brian, yes.
Brian O'Neill, he's looking for a reasonable Jungle Lord backglass.
Yeah, me too. I think I'm just going to buy a new one.
Papa. He has the old Papa Jungle Lord.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, he goes, someone tried to protect the backglass art with duct tape.
Lovely.
Yeah, great. Monsters own pinball sometimes.
Ragrog has played once. Nice.
It's a good one. Oh, hey, I recognize your name. Thanks for joining us.
Phil's haven't played it yet? Well, when Kyle fixes it, maybe you can come by the studio.
Oh, yeah. Phil, I want you to come check it out. This is a great game. When it comes to rules, there are some goofy ones that are fun to exploit.
You could be our next guest star.
Absolutely. Wow, that comes apart really fast.
On PinTech Live.
You've got a little 5/8 baby ball.
Oh.
Same as a pitch and bat ball for the bagatelle. At this point, I just need to figure out if I actually want to take these ramps off or not. I could probably clean them to a level that will make me satisfied without removing them.
This one has a screw that's just trashed.
Those might be worth replacing. These are probably number 4 by 1/2 inch standard ramp screws, but we'll find out. That was too fast. I thought that was going to take longer.
I'm sorry for helping.
It's okay. TJ...
We've never had TJ's efficiency on our show before. It's like, well, the show's over.
Yeah, okay.
See, if we had TJ, we could have just hour-long shows.
Oh. I keep Emoto away too long. I'm going to take all the rubbers off. I think we're going to change the drop targets out. I'm going to probably take one drop target out, and then I'm going to try to snap it. And if it breaks, we're going to replace them. We've never worked on these drop targets before, so I feel like we will replace a bank of them at least. We've worked on the older drop targets on, what was it, Time Warp, the ones that have the goofy horseshoes on the back. But these are different. I'll show everybody. I think we talked about them last week, but...
Oh, wait. Kyle, what was your one wish? Oh, yeah, look at those guys.
What?
These are
your one wish is granted.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Can you put that in the next Deadpool update? What are we looking at?
We're looking at these space-themed drop targets.
Oh.
Are these from Stellar Wars?
About, but I think I do.
Can someone confirm if these drop target decals are Stellar Wars or not? Because I think that's really funny.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Jungle Lord is like some weird planet in Star Trek.
No, it's gotta have some type of sci-fi element if that whole front part of the upper playfield is like weird helmets. So maybe that is stock.
Maybe. I don't think
it's gone
so.
now, but it was there.
Anyways, I think it's time to pop open the bottom and let's do a game plan. Well, I think we'll start disassembling some stuff just because we do want to be prepared for next week. I guess I read and learned that Gorgar was the first game to have player-controlled magnets. Or a controlled magnet. I think Black Knight was the first game to have a player-controlled magnet. I guess technically, though, in baseball games, in pitch and bat games, if you're throwing a curveball, in pitch and bat games, usually you'll have like 2 or 3 different pitches, even the older ones from the 50s or 60s. But you'll have like a fastball, and that'll send the ball quick and straight. You'll have a slower ball, which will send it a little bit slower to try to mess up. Pitch and bats are usually designed to be played with 2 people, right? One person pitching, one person batting. But then there's a curveball, and the curveball would pitch, and right after the motor would make its complete rotation to scoop the ball and send it out, it would activate a magnet, which would curve the ball one way. So maybe that's a player-controlled magnet also, if you wanted to argue about it. But
so those drop target decals were Stellar Wars. Good job. And, I mean, good eye. And they're supposed to be tiger faces.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Tiger Bomb logo. And TJ, if you're still holding the handheld camera, I switched over so you don't have to stand
I just realized that.
Thank you for camera-ing.
I didn't want to cut off Kyle, but I was like, let me help him out real quick.
Let's actually bring the handheld camera back really quick. Because I think for something fun to show on video, we will do this next time. This game I don't think is going to take very much. Electronically, we've got it working, other than the one bad connector I need to redo, eliminate the IDC and put a crimp and stuff Molex. I rebuilt the power supply. I think last week we were talking about how it was a little flaky, so I did that last week. But the next upgrade I think we will do for the lower flippers is we will eliminate the old style Williams flipper base, which uses an internal coil stop. I will disassemble it and show it now. We can replace these with a modern WPC style or era flipper base, which allows us to disassemble the flipper by only removing the coil stop. When we do that, we will also extend this harness a little bit, so we'll be able to rotate the coil. We've talked about this before as well, keeping the diode end away from the stop. The vibration and the constant slamming of the plunger into the stop can cause this to break, which will cause all sorts of bad things to happen. So sometime in the mid-'80s, they swapped it around. Do you know when, TJ?
No.
I'm assuming it was probably around the System 11 era. They decided it was a good idea to turn that around. So that's the tip I always like to give. When you can, or if you want to extend the leads on your end of stroke switch, do it. But don't put too much stress on these wires. But we will be doing that.
It's also missing the screw through the linkage. Is that a roll pin?
There is a roll pin. The older games used roll pins. I forgot about that, but that's trippy. You don't see these original very often anymore.
I think the older games I've worked on have had the crank arms replaced with newer style.
This one's been replaced once, right? But no one went through and did the rest of them. You can usually tell, at least in the last decade, of a replacement crank arm is when they don't have a nut on one side, or there's an Allen cap head screw on one side and a nut on the other side. So you hold like these, right? You hold the Allen cap head here and remove this nut to loosen the crank and then remove it. It's much easier to make them this way with the PEM stud and the captive, or the solid washer.
So the washer has a Pac-Man cutout on it.
I can get one out of my parts box so y'all can see. I like to replace them because they're much easier to service. But also at the same time, I think I've said a billion times, like when you get a new game, just start by rebuilding the flippers. At least then you know you're in a good spot, right? So here's a new Williams style flipper crank and link with the Pac-Man cutout here. Be careful tightening these things down. They do need to be very tight, but sometimes when you go super He-Man, I have had these fail and I've pulled them through.
When you do tighten them down, also I've seen the metal will stretch, and if you get it to where these are touching, or if you're rebuilding flippers on a game where the two halves are touching, it's a good idea to replace the crank arm at that point, because you've stretched the metal so much that it's not going to make a good grip on the flipper bat.
We're talking about stretching this section here,
correct,
right?
Yes.
These are hollow, right? It's a piece of sheet metal which is bent. So it is tough, but you can fatigue this pretty easy. A pinching point here is, you can put a lot of torque on it. So
also to point out, this is the non-tapered newer style link. Somebody has taken a grinder to this one. No, that's actually a tapered link. So this has a taper here to make room for the spring to not get demolished. Whereas this one, the rounded end of the link will smash the spring if you have the spring around the plunger shaft. If you have the spring here tied to the end of stroke bracket, then you don't have that problem.
I think we talked about that when we were working on my roller games, since I do not generally carry the tapered links, there is a way you can modify these guys. I was trying to find a compression spring. If you are careful, you can get in here with some flush cutters and try to taper them just so much if you don't happen to have one with you.
Angle grinder also works, but gives you delicious fumes.
Thankfully, when you are ordering parts and you're not, on the road and you need to try to cobble something together, if you have to cobble something together, you can. But if you have the luxury of ordering parts, you might as well order the right stuff. We do carry both styles. If you order the WFL kit, I believe that's the part number, that will give you the correct links. The WFL Tron, the Fliptronic system, when they went to low voltage or solid state. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just showing everyone the awesome parts kit.
I love how TJ's just going through Kyle's private toolbox and showing us all, and we're like looking in Kyle's underwear drawer.
It's not private.
Now
Well,
while he's talking.
in doing work for Pinball Pirate, I have the same setup now also.
He's like,
I think, I'm pretty sure TJ has my old one.
Yeah, I think I got Kyle's old parts setup from when he left.
And then when I left, stopped working with Chris, I've been so used to working out of this dang box, I had to replicate it. It is amazing. So, let's see.
That's awesome.
I'm going to just start taking these apart. I'm glad you have all these tips,
great.
these things that I'm not thinking about, like when these things start to pinch.
Manu is here. He says, "Hey, TJ."
Who?
Manu.
Oh, hi, Manu. Manu has an awesome pinball stream. Mystery Science Pinball.
Theater 3000.
Yes.
We rate it every single time.
We love it.
It's probably the
try to.
best.
Manu also very generously recently, for a second year in a row, did a fundraiser at Free Gold Watch where he played every pinball machine on live stream, raising funds for a pinball outreach project.
That was amazing.
Aw, that's awesome.
So thank you very much for that.
All right.
Oh, there's an angle I want.
We got some angle. Oh, I guess we could zoom in with
I
the.
found it.
Here.
Oh, okay.
With that one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's one of the tools that I carry is a ratcheting bit holder with a 5/30 seconds.
I'll take the tall job.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Look at you guys.
I'm gonna let TJ work.
Awesome. TJ, can you just be here every Thursday?
I'm busy next Thursday.
TJ's toolkit is amazing because this man can fix everything with things in his pockets.
Whoa.
Yeah, at some
Can you
point,
show us
a
the
little bit
end of
later,
that
I will show you the
ratchet
contents of my
that bit
pockets.
You have?
What's that?
The bit you have at the end of your ratchet?
It's a 5/30 seconds Allen wrench bit.
Oh, wow.
Ta-da! That thing is shot. That's a very short coil stop.
So if you zoom in on here, you can actually see that there's so much slop in this assembly, and the roll pin is physically loose.
That's bad.
Yeah.
This would have been awful to play. This probably
so
would not.
Do you fix it or you just throw it away?
No, these get thrown away. These are very old. Those are probably from the 80s.
These are also pretty flattened on the end, although not completely.
So that's just bad.
Sorry.
This hole is enlarged.
Here
Wow.
on the other side.
This
He's going
coil.
to be known as East Coast TJ from now on.
Waffle House TJ.
not.
When he's in California, he can be In-N-Out TJ. I miss In-N-Out. Everyone in California, please go grab a delicious burger for me or something.
Animal style.
That's too messy. I like to get an animal style grilled cheese or grilled cheese with a whole grilled onion. That's probably my favorite way to enjoy.
I've never done that. That sounds cool and delicious.
Okay, I need a flathead screwdriver. I'm putting this camera down.
Okay.
So,
Ooh, yeah, that's kind of a cool angle. We've never done this like operation table angle before.
Here, you need that.
oh, I need this
Welcome
too.
to the pinball dentist.
When you work at Musée Mécanique in San Francisco, you are required to wear a I work here pin. So that is the most common question when you're carrying a toolbox or working on a game. If someone taps you on the shoulder and says, "Hey, do you work here?" Well, yes. Hey, did you read the pin? I do. Hold on.
Katie Moretti says TJ has Mary Poppins pockets.
Yeah, so in a little bit, I'll go through the parts or the tools that I normally carry in my pockets, which are useful for fixing.
Are they all in your pocket right now? So you're like pull them out one by one?
Yeah. Yeah, I brought
That's
tools with
awesome.
me for the work that I'm doing tomorrow, so I can lay that out on. I'll find the flat surface.
We can lay them out on the table. I'll just pull all of the dead Scan-B sockets and screwed up capacitors
I
off
really
of it.
am digging this shot. This is cool. I mean, you guys can't really see necessarily what he's doing, but it's beautiful.
This is why I miss
shot.
pinball streaming. When we really started doing that,
Oh,
like and actually
purple
playing games,
back
and
there.
we put the cameras in weird spots on the spinner on Mars Trek and stuff. That was so much fun.
Yeah, when are we gonna do that again?
Let's try
When I get more webcams.
get more webcams because then I can take it home. I have my TNA at home right now, and I have my Xenon at home right now. We could stream either of those. TNA has some pretty cool shots. I have all the parts I need to fix it now too, so we'll be able to do some fun stuff.
Yeah, all the Bay Area kids are slowly migrating to southeastern United States.
Really? I thought I was the only one.
No, you're the only one.
Yeah. Don't-
Speaking of Bay Area kids, I got this picture of the little flippers from the flipper room in Concord
Oh, yay.
watching the stream. So shout out to Anna, Marley, and Finley.
Hi guys.
Oh wait, put it back up. I put it on the big screen.
Make them
They're
famous.
Awesome. And they just got their Walter Day cards.
That's awesome.
Oh really? What
games.
games did they pose next to?
Oh, look, they're taking a picture. That's so meta. We're like showing the picture of the picture of the picture of the picture. Yay!
And then Finley has actually been making knit beanie caps, and that was really useful for when I was in the snow 2 weeks ago.
That's
so
awesome.
she's selling them out of the flipper room. They're worth the money and very warm.
That's awesome. I love seeing the cakes and pastries that she's always making too.
I like it when all of them can beat me in pinball, like or all the time.
That's easy for them.
Yeah,
Not
for them.
me.
Oh, geez, you're about to lower. No. Marley
Not
can
me.
destroy me in Iron Maiden all the time.
I believe it.
I'm excited
Oh,
to get
is
these
my
things up.
voice doubled?
No.
Sounds. Oh, because I think TJ was standing really close to the
Ah, yes.
Oh.
computer there, so we got a little bit of echo from their monitor.
The way we
Remember
stream.
when we had earpieces, Kyle? That lasted for like a whole half an episode.
Well, remember we couldn't use them because Windows won't. We can't, since the way we capture your audio is through
Yeah,
Zoom.
the Zoom.
And if I set my audio source to be my headphones, we can't use that on Streamlabs or whatnot. So
Oh,
remember?
I have an idea, but we don't need to talk about it here.
There's a way you can do it. You can set Windows to take 2 audio sources. I just need to mess with it. Let's see.
All right, so you've taken off the plate.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. This is the weirdest camera view, but I love it. We've taken off the flipper base, the old one. Actually, I have
Here,
a
I
modern
can
Williams
come.
one right here.
Hold this again.
Thanks. So what I'm blabbing on about, this is what Williams changed their flipper bases to at some point. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're talking like, I think Space Station still use this style. Or, I'm sorry, Space Shuttle.
Space Shuttle.
So the System 9 games, I'm pretty sure we're talking like the high-speed era System 11 games would swapped over to this style. So this would have not only a removable coil retainer, but the flipper coil stop was also removable. So that means you could do most of the servicing of the flipper just by removing this instead of removing this, and then loosening the flipper, and then removing all of that. It was just a pain in the butt.
You can also replace the coil stop, which is a consumable part, without having to replace the whole bracket.
Yes.
This is actually missing the end-of-stroke mounting bracket.
I have those in there somewhere. But
They ship separately, but they're included with the bracket.
so
Lost Kid Tag asked, are you going to drill the plate?
Why would we need to drill the plate?
no drilling. We will be replacing. This is gone. We don't want this. We want to be able to use modern components that are readily available to service our flippers. This game will probably never, ever, ever go on location, but with a small investment of time and money, we can upgrade them to a much more serviceable set of parts. While we're working on it, we may as well. So eventually, I think next week we'll work on doing that. Maybe I'll install one off camera and get them set up. But yeah, we'll still retain using these serial round flipper coils. This one, oh wow, that's like the world's worst soldering. Let's look at that.
While Kyle's working on that, this style Williams flipper bushing that's still on here, this one has some of the wrong screws, but they typically have nuts on the back side that you want to remove before you try to loosen the screws on the top side. Otherwise, you'll shear the screws off.
Wow, look at that.
So you would have to take the whole plate off to be able to do that,
Yes.
I imagine?
It's a little bit painful, but you can do it.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I believe in you. You have the skills to do it.
Yeah, changing a flipper bushing really isn't that hard. It's a pain in the butt. It's tedious, but it isn't difficult. If you know how to rebuild the flipper itself, taking the bracket off and changing the bushing isn't too bad.
It gets harder when you shear the screws off.
When you shear the screws off, it's very difficult. You better have some good, nice, sharp vice grips. But we're just going to do a full service on this. And honestly, I mean, I kind of want to just do these two because why not? It's a big investment of time and, you know, a little investment in some parts, but
It'll make for a really snappy gameplay.
absolutely.
This flipper is actually adjusted such that the end of stroke is open and won't actually function because it's got no high power going through it. Typically this is actually, yeah, that's dead.
Oh yeah, that's just,
Did it just fall off?
Yes, it did.
yeah, that's bad.
So we still have no high power on the upper flipper. And we got this weird chunky sound on this one.
I mean, that coil stop, this thing must be like so short that it just doesn't touch the stop.
Oh, it's smushing the spring.
Smushing the spring, but it's like, let's take that one apart. I'm really curious about this one. I mean, see, that's the thing is like, Chris always used to tell me, you have to use all your senses when you're working on a pinball machine. Everything but taste, mostly.
Yeah, put us back in the cabinet.
Oh, okay. You use all your senses, right? Feel. We're feeling for things to be rough. We're feeling for things to be loose. We're feeling for things to be not right. We're listening for things, right? When you thwack a flipper, right, the flipper's shaft is supposed to nail the end of stroke switch. So when we do that, we hear... That's a bad example even. But what I'm trying to get to is like, I'm moving this flipper here and I'm not hearing that metal on metal contact. We see that the spring is being smushed, but I'm going to bet that this flipper shaft has been worn down so far, it just can't touch. We'll find out shortly. Does it have enough room to squeeze out? Almost. Almost. You're so close. There it goes. That's not the way you're supposed to do it, but it was entertaining. No, it was definitely the spring. This one had a spring that was just getting so mushed up that this thing couldn't actually complete its full stroke and stop on the coil stop like it's supposed to there. It's just bad.
See, I told you last episode the springs looked weird.
You're right.
I was talking about they just looked weird.
When like 3 out of 4 flippers look different, you know that you probably want to go in there and make sure you've got the right parts. This thing has been cobbled together to keep working, and that's why we're here, right? This is what shopping a game out is looking for these mistakes, right? I don't know. Let's just take it apart. Why not? How about you take that one? I'll finish this one.
Brian O'Neill, who is also working on a Jungle Lord,
Good
is
man.
asking, do you have to re-drill holes to install the new bracket?
No. Okay, I know, I'm very 99% certain you don't, but the footprints are exactly the same. Hold on.
Just double check it.
What camera? Can we go, here, I'll use this camera. Here.
Okay, hold on. Yeah.
Old, new.
Old and new together. They make a...
It's the same footprint, so that's the nice thing about it, is it's really not too much work. Your game isn't wrong if you've got these on there, right? If it works, it works. But I'm doing this because I want to be able to service it easily and because it amuses me to upgrade things, I guess. So, most of the time I wouldn't do something like this, right? Like we were talking about the old Bally linear style flippers, and people are like, well, why don't you change them back to the better flippers, the older flippers? And it's like, well, it's not necessarily better. I don't want to, right? I like it the way it is. But this is clearly better. It's more serviceable. It's easier. We will do it.
Nice. Indy Pin says, I will expect Kyle to have blue hair next week.
I'm hoping I can get my hair cut next week, but I don't think that's going to happen.
You're going to cut your hair?
Yeah, I'm
tired. You can't
tired.
cut your hair without making a presentation about it, because remember, we're going to go to season 2 when you cut your hair.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we determine our seasons.
Yeah, I forgot we made that agreement, but that was a great agreement. I shouldn't have forgotten that.
Season 1 forever.
Do you know when our actual 1-year anniversary is? What was I doing? When was our first broadcast where my phone overheated and the stream?
In the stream, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If you have to cut your hair, it has to be on the stream. And then we will change seasons.
Have Barber will travel? I don't know. Oh shoot, I forgot to undo that one.
Just have Eska do it, and she could be our guest.
If she didn't have to work, she might.
You do a stream from home, but then you get cats interrupting.
That's fine. I like cats.
Our first episode was April 23rd.
Oh, huh. Hey, we're almost there.
2020.
God, these all have so much slop. This thing would just have been no fun to play.
All right. Creech, you missed the hair on your head? Oh.
Hey, Creech.
Your hair misses you too.
That guy had some glorious hair. I never I did not know you when you had that hair, but I like seeing the pictures of it. It's amazing.
Aw,
How'd you
I
fit
wanna
that
see
all into your
pictures of
helmet?
your long hair.
I always had really short hair when I was riding motorcycles a lot.
So,
TJ has a pair of scissors in his pocket.
yeah, I do.
TSA loves you.
Somewhere. Tiny scissors.
Look at that.
So I was going to say that I've known Creech since we were both in high school together back in the early 90s. And he actually
Awesome.
got me more into pinball collecting than I was at the time. He was my dealer in high school, and I bought several games from him. And both of my diner pinballs have come from him, which is interesting, but many years apart.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's a game I haven't seen in a long time, Diner. Where did they all go? Like in people's basements, I guess. Who here has a diner?
I have one.
Yeah, pinball dealer getting those kids hooked young. Yep. All right. Guido posted some YouTube link.
Is that the
Everyone should click
Triple
on
Jungle Lord? Yes.
to look at a Jungle Lord. Triple head-to-head pinball.
I saw this a few years ago, and it was really cool.
Whoa.
So somebody
Why is
has
this
connected
like
3 Jungle Lords together.
Just let it firm up.
That's
and
not
then
Jungle Lord.
No, you clicked on something else.
Put him back in the game.
How did that happen? I was like, what is he touching?
There we go.
No one can see what we're looking at.
Oh,
But everyone click on that link and you can see. Oh, that's
Holy
beautiful.
crud.
but don't go away too long. You should come back and like watch the link later. But it's a really cool.
Oh, all the bagatelles are off to the Whoa. Who made that? Where is that? That's insane.
Yeah, that was really cool. We'll have to post that. Thanks for the link, Mark. All right. So Kyle is. What are you looking at, Kyle?
I'm just exploring. There's not really much to teach today other than,
What? We've
just.
learned so much today already.
Oh, well, TJ has a lot to teach. I just have a lot to blab.
Oh, here's a question for TJ.
Okay.
Have you ever had an Italian pinball?
We have a Jolly Park. I think that's from Spain. But I think that's the only foreign-made pinball that we have, although I'm not sure. A couple hundred pinball machines, it's hard to keep track of them.
Yeah.
I know we don't have any Zachariah pins.
Yeah.
Gotta get a Devil Riders.
Oh, Colin, it's not time yet. TJ, what kind of beer do you drink?
I actually don't drink beer, which is surprising.
In the front. Oh, see, he doesn't drink beer. There goes the beer conversation for the day.
The only thing I have to add to the beer conversation is that I can't
It's
find
close
Hop
enough.
Slam. So I
Is
stopped
what,
looking.
Kyle? What'd you say?
I can't find Hop Slam, so I stopped looking, and I'm
Still.
really sad. Yeah, I went to the liquor store. I went to multiple specialty beer shops, and they just don't have it right now. So
Yeah, what if there was grilled cheese flavored beer? Then
sounds-
would you drink it?
Probably not.
that sounds awful.
He's like, no. No.
It looks like everything else on this thing is pretty decent, right? We're gonna want to hit the normal lubrication spots, put a couple drops of oil on the pivot points. We're definitely going to want to rebuild or take these drop targets apart. I want to do that as a lesson because we have not done these before.
Awesome.
These are good Williams drop
Grilled cheese
targets.
flavored Pez?
They look nice. What else? What else do we need to do on this game? Otherwise, I mean, we proved last week that all the solenoids work. It looks like if any lamps do not work, we just have probably some burnt out bulbs. Most of the time, these older Williams games don't have lazy sockets like the Bally games do. So we're going to mostly be doing some flipper upgrades and just some normal maintenance for once, instead of actually tearing a whole dang crummy game apart. This one's not so bad, which makes me happy. And actually, I might even start attaching the flipper base plates now, maybe while TJ talks about the goods.
Oh yeah, are we ready to look at TJ's pockets?
Yeah, except you're not going in the pocket. You're just going to the table.
We have a camera for that.
Actually, yeah, hold on. I can set up the green cam, and that can set up over the table, maybe. Do you want me to do that, or do you want me to just hold the camera?
Oh,
Either
yeah.
way.
Yeah, you can do that. Make an overhead.
Yeah.
If the green cam's working. Let's see. Where's green cam? Oh,
There we
he's
go.
moving.
Moving.
Ooh, look at that pretty shot.
Even if it wasn't working, it was going to be... how about something like...
No.
How about something like this?
I want it to go in the pocket.
It's dark.
Yeah.
You don't have a light in there? Sure.
I do have a light, but it's now on the table.
All right, check green cam.
All right. Let's check it out.
Hey, that's not
that's
bad.
Not horrible. So the tool that I use most often is it's a snap-on screwdriver. It's ratcheting. Has a very fine ratchet to it. You can find these on eBay for $50. In the back end of it holds a bunch of bits. I carry the Security Torx bits, which are the ones with the tiny hole in them. The star ones, more commonly used on arcade games and backbox locks on the WPC games. Those I carry a number 2 Robertson, the 5/32 Allen, and then Phillips number 1 and 2. So those are the bits.
Nice. Thanks for all the subs. It's lit.
Also in that same pocket, I carry a 5/16 nut driver and 11/32 nut driver. Craftsman, it's yellow and green, which are the same as some of the others also. These are common for pinball plastics. We'll use these. Pinball ramps will use this one. Bill acceptors will use this one also. They are both very similar feeling at the top when they're in the pocket. So one of them actually has some tape on it for texture, so that when I reach into my pocket, I can feel which one is which and pull out the correct one blindly.
This guy. Smart. That's awesome.
Going over to the other pocket, there's a 1/4-inch socket adapter with a couple different sockets. I have a 1/2 inch, a 7/16, and normally a 3/8, which is not here.
Oh no, where'd it go?
I think it's in my tool bag because I had to throw everything in there to travel on the plane. So this actually works out for if you need a 7/16, you can assemble one. And you've got a 7/16, which I mostly use on arcade games, pinball machine, coin doors, tightening the brackets on the head of your WPC game.
Which are always loose.
They are always loose. If you go take your Fishtails or Twilight Zone or whatever, the brackets that hold the corners of the heads as well as the hinges use a 7/16 nut. And if you go through and tighten them, you'll get a couple turns out of at least a few of them. And you may actually be missing the flange nuts on one or more of them.
If you go check yours and they're not loose, I owe you a pinball, but I guarantee you all of your games will be loose.
Not a pinball machine, just a ball.
Just a pinball.
I also carry a 5/16 adapter, which is less deep than the 5/16 nut driver. This is really useful for putting pop-up armatures on. The 2 nuts that go on the end of the ring and rod assembly. You want a nut driver that's not super deep so that you can actually get them started. And then thread them on correctly. I carry a 1/4-inch magnetic adapter. Where's the camera? There we go. Which is great for changing GI from under the playfield. The magnet catches the screws. You can use just the bit holder on the snap-on, but it doesn't have a magnet. And they actually get chewed up to where they won't grab the screws after several years. Flashlight is good, so you're not using the one on your phone constantly. Maglite, trusty. A pen
Mini mag.
is really good to have. A Sharpie is great to have also.
I got
This
those.
is the ratcheting 1/4-inch and 5/16 that I used earlier. I got this out of a Home Depot set. If you search on Amazon for gear wrench ratchet set, I think you have one of those somewhere.
Which one?
The little red set of ratcheting things.
I don't think so.
I saw one earlier.
Yes,
In any case,
I want one. I like those things a lot.
I love mag lights.
This is great for the 5/16. Is good for getting underneath a ramp to loosen a nut on top of a plastic on a pinball.
Nice.
And then the 1/4 inch with the 5/32 bit is good for the flipper crank arms, where you need to get in there and break it loose for the old style ones. Beyond that is Leatherman. I like the older style with the scissors on it. We already went over that. But also, it's the older style tend to not need fingernails for getting the blades out. And since I bite my nails, this is good for me. It's also small and pops open if it's loosened enough, but not too much. So that's what I carry in my pockets usually on a daily basis, which lets me go up to a machine, open it, fix whatever problem is loose. I can rebuild flippers with what I have on me. If it needs a soldering iron and it's one of my locations, I tend to have a soldering iron in the change machine at the location or tucked inside of a game. That way I'm not carrying tools back and forth, and it makes things more efficient. Being able to fix things while you're standing at the machine with it open the first time.
That's awesome. I love how you made the tape on one of your tools, so you just know when you put your hand in your pocket which tool you're actually grabbing.
Yeah, and some of them are like different sizes. You can feel the different sizes, but these are one size apart, and they're very close, and difficult to tell otherwise. If you don't like the tape, you can rough up one end of it with a grinder. Something else on the magnetic bit holder, if we can go back to the other camera.
Yeah.
I've actually taken this to a grinder to put a bevel on the edge. As it was, it would not get in close enough. The bend on the sockets was in the way to get close enough in there to get the screws out. So by taking off some of the material on it, it'll now get in to get the screws out of GI sockets.
That's awesome. That's smart.
So one of the things I noticed that you don't have in your pockets is the bent screwdriver.
So the bent screwdriver is wonderful. You have one.
Oh, yes.
I just ordered a 10-pack of them, but it's a tiny flathead screwdriver. You want to, if you're going to bend one, you want to bend it at least 1/2 inch to 1 inch in from the end. Don't try to bend it right at the tip because it'll snap off. This is great for prying chips out on boards. If you're going to change EPROMs or reseat them and you want to lift all the chips a little bit. It's also good for the 555 sockets, which have the 2 contacts inside, to put it in the socket and bend the legs closer to the center. It's good for many other things too. I'm amazed at how useful they are.
A simple tool I never knew I needed until Chris was like, "You need this." And now I have multiple backups. I gave one to my wife for her toolbox too. Even though she's not prying EPROMs out of things as often as I am. But, you know.
And then for setting up games, Kyle has this small ratchet, which is slightly different than mine. His, you reverse it by pushing the thing through to the other side. Marco actually has small ratchets this size. When combined with a 5/8 spark plug socket, which is a long socket, but it's got a shorter recess inside. It makes for a great tool. It's pocket size. It fits in your hand. You can get enough torque on it to tighten the legs without hearing the wood crack. If you're tightening the legs and the wood is cracking, you've gone too far. That is what somebody said to me the first time I was putting together a pinball machine back in the early 90s. I was like, how tight should I tighten these? And he said, if you hear the wood crack, you've gone too far. And he actually suggested to to learn that limit and then never go to that limit again.
Yeah, never get to there.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me why I use nut drivers and not sockets. Sockets are bulky, but you can also end up putting like way too much torque on something when you're using a socket wrench. A nut driver limits you to how strong your wrists are.
The socket adapter, the quarter-inch socket adapter, also works well with the small ratchet, so you can basically build whatever tool you need out of the pieces that are in the pocket.
That's so awesome.
There's that back.
Hey, thanks. This thing's handy.
This,
So there you go. You can have like overkill, or you can be totally prepared and keep it in your
the
pocket.
traveling.
Pretty prepared. I fix a lot with what's in the pockets, but not everything. And then I go out and get the tool bag from the truck, and that has even more stuff in it.
Independence asked who makes the tiny ratchet. that you showed.
I will find a link and send it to Emoto, and she can post that.
Nice.
They're little ratcheting like
We don't
screwdriver,
have
right?
that
Or-
tiny ratchets.
No, we don't.
Kyle?
No, I don't think so. Well, we have the tiny socket wrench, but not tiny like handheld ratcheting.
We need to.
Like, yeah, no, we
Get on
definitely. They're super handy. I do have some at home. They're very handy at adjusting like motorcycle carburetors and things like that, but I never really considered to use them in pinball land. I might need to do that. I think this bracket is bent just slightly, and I don't like it.
Oh no, that's the new bracket?
No, I'm working on the ball serve bracket here. It was someone had like shoved a sheet metal screw in where a machine thread screw should be, so I put the proper nut and machine thread screw. But now I'm noticing that the bracket is also cockeyed because it has been loose for a very long time. So I'm going to try to bend it the 90 degrees again or so. Looking at someone else's toolbox is always like so entertaining to me. And TJ's pocket toolbox never ceases to amaze.
Yeah, the pocket toolbox is cool.
Tool pocket.
Tool pocket. Pocket box.
The traveling toolbox.
I just sent you that
Pocket
link,
size.
Emoto, so if you can
Okay.
copy and paste
Yeah,
that.
Let's see. Okay, cool. You did it on that. I will
You should test it
post
first before sending it. I trimmed off the referral code or the tracking ID or whatever.
Oh, awesome. Wait. SR77S14. Oh, wow. Look, we have this awesome product right here. I'm going to put in the chat link.
Which one is? Can you bring it up so I can see what it is?
The wrench. This one's from MGM Studios. The wrench socket ratchet, quarter inch.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Reversible?
that's
very
close.
similar.
Yes.
Does yours have a 5/16 on the other side?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a perfect tool. The TJ's has a 5/16 on the other side, which is another handy pinball size. But you know, if you did buy that, all you'd need to do is get a 1/4 inch adapter, which would allow you to put a 5/16 inch socket into that 1/4 inch hole, and it turns into a very handy multi-tool. I'm gonna go get one of those when I get to the shop tomorrow, and I'm gonna try to find good places to use it going forward because those are super
awesome.
handy.
Let's put it on let's show it on the show too.
And the nice thing too about the one that MGM Studio just linked is it looked like it had I don't know if that's like the reversing like chuck or something, but it looked like it was you could also ratchet it with your fingers from the other side. Can you pull it up again? So I don't know if the bigger side might allow you to also spin it via your hand. I don't know how
Possibly.
you reverse.
This has also got rubber insulating on it.
which is gentle on your palms.
Yeah, that looks nice. And then here's our miniature socket wrench, dual drive ratchet.
Can you bring that one up?
3/8 and 1/2 inch.
I've never seen that tool.
We gotta bring it up.
We've got a lot of tools.
I think that's bigger than the one that I saw earlier today. when I was wandering through the rows and rows of parts.
But that might be that. It could be an old photo. Sometimes we aren't able to update photos all the time, so I need to look. But I will bring that tool that MGM Studio just linked, and then the small wrench we were talking about, which would be a great addition to your pinball toolbox next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna link it so we don't forget.
Yeah, please do.
Spotlight it. Yay, thank you, MGM Studios.
One of the things that's been popping up in the... Which camera? There.
Whichever camera you want.
We'll go with this one that's above the computer. Can you...
Oh, yeah.
There we go. One of the highlighted parts is a headphone jack for Spike 2, which is, I believe, about $100. It adds a volume knob on the front of the game where the bill acceptor plate would go. And you can adjust the volume from outside the game without opening the coin door, which on the newer games will kill the playfield power. It installs easily with removing 2 nuts, loosening 2 nuts, putting a plate on, and then connecting a connector on the CPU board. So aside from the 1 nut driver, you don't need any other tools to do it. And then you can also hear the headphones, hear the good music out of the headphones.
Yeah, the games have incredible audio, and they sound great when you put them through a good pair of headphones.
I really like Deadpool with the headphones because you hear so much more of the game.
I was going to say, I think that might be the only and first mod I put on my Deadpool when I get it, is a headphone jack. It's so handy, even on location.
Is it an easy thing to install?
Yes.
Incredibly easy.
So you remove the plate that you would normally remove to put a bill acceptor on the game, which is on the front lower left of the coin door. That plate comes out. There's 4 nuts on it. You remove the top 2 ones. You loosen the other 2, take out the old plate, put the new one in, put the nuts back on, and then drape the wiring all the way back to the back of the cabinet, up into the head, and plug it in.
It's inexpensive, it's fast, and it's very convenient.
It's also reversible, so if you go to sell your machine, you can take that back off if you want to keep it and move it to another game. Install takes about 10 minutes.
That's awesome.
And that's a easy level install.
On the show one day.
Yeah, I mean, we could totally do that on the Led Zeppelin here, among other modifications. Hopefully when we get those, There's
the headphone jack over there on the side.
Yep.
Just went away.
Yep, it was right there. And our famous socket cleaning stick.
Everyone loves.
Do you have a socket cleaning stick, TJ?
I have one at the shop that I've been using a little bit more.
Socket stick.
I don't have one in my pocket. I think it would get all gross in my pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Linty and gritty and bleh.
For sure. Well, it's almost 4:45.
Wow.
Everyone in the chat, if you'd like to ask any questions, hopefully related to pinball, to TJ or Kyle now, feel free. Maybe you have a game that you're stuck on your repair and you're looking for some extra tips, or whatever floats your boat.
So to Indie Pins about the Leatherman with scissors, this is the PST2, which was discontinued many years ago. You can still find them on eBay occasionally. And as far as the airport security line, I check luggage because I travel with tools. It's just so much easier that way.
Nice. Indie Pins' question is, did Kyle get my email yesterday? Nice question.
Yes, I did get your email yesterday. I have not had time to come up with an articulate reply. So hopefully by the end of the day tomorrow I can get to that.
No, don't pan the room. We can't break the fourth wall, Marky Harris. There's a lot of secret magic going on beyond the frame.
I will just say that I was amazed to see how much bigger the room was, because I've been watching PinTech Live many episodes worth, and it feels like it is confined to just the truss system that is set up, and then perhaps a few more feet worth of camera space. The room's probably about 4 times what you see.
Yes.
or what you have
And
seen
it's
in the episodes.
And the magic is a bunch of mostly
driving
broken
me nuts.
pinball machines.
Maybe one day we'll do studio tours. Come
Yeah.
on down to Columbia, South Carolina, and get a Marco TV studio tour.
Yeah, y'all should start paying us money so we could give you a tour of our broken pinball machines. I think that is a great way for us to increase the budget for our show.
Come help fix.
Yeah,
I was
help me
also
fix stuff.
amazed that like getting here involved turning off of the paved road and driving to this building like in the middle of nowhere.
All right, California boy, welcome to South Carolina.
Yeah,
You guys
there's
know
like
it is not a airplane hangar.
That would be cool.
It used to be a official building.
we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that before the jokes happen. After the official building, it was a karate studio.
When can you sign up for this tour? We'll let you guys know when the tour is open.
Yeah, when everyone's COVID vaccinated,
COVID,
you can sign
yeah.
up for the tour, and we'll do the Marco experience. You could sit in my office, you can answer emails, you could look at parts, all inclusive. We'll feed you Rush's, the greatest local fast food chain of Columbia.
Yeah.
What else? We can go to all the arcades, all 2 of them. We could.
So this is the left limit of the room
Yep.
of what we can show you. And then panning over,
You can come to about here.
yeah, we can get to about here.
To Baywatch.
There we go. So that is, I'll say, almost half of the room.
And I will also say, Marky Harris, if you watch our episodes, sometimes with the handheld camera, you'll get a glimpse of everything else if I don't click away fast enough when Kyle's moving it. So you'll just have to watch all the episodes and look for the secret moments and see what's hiding.
It's hiding behind the walls.
everything.
It's not super amazing, but I'm glad that people find it to be a super secret. Like Wilson
Oh,
in
he's
Home
gonna look
Improvement.
for it now.
What's his face look
Yes,
like?
Missy Lark, you get to fix one of our broken machines on the tour. And
Yes.
You get to pick.
And you get one free
the tour
pinball.
only happens during Expo.
Yeah, we can do like a Stern factory tour sort of thing, but a Marco warehouse experience.
Yeah.
You can come drink the same coffee I drink every morning.
For Brian O'Neill, for his question about the wear on the playfield for the Bagatelle on Jungle Lord
Oh, nice.
and protecting it from further damage, I would just take the ball out of it, and that will make sure that it doesn't get damaged anymore.
Yeah. Do not play the game, and it will never, ever wear out.
Oh, you can't put like little miniature strips of Mylar in there or something?
You probably could.
Well, here's the thing, Brian. Your game probably had the same ball in it for like 20-something years, and that ball turned into a little piece of sandpaper, and it follows the same path every time it leaves the thing, right? The ball's been replaced. Replace your ball, and you will never wear it out.
It's also now in a I'll
Time
say a
capsule.
retirement village
Yeah.
where it will enjoy gentle play for the rest of its life, and is no longer getting played 6 hours a day or 18 hours a day during Pinburg.
Your coil is floating.
Yeah, they can keep floating. That wiring needs to be repaired, so I'm not too concerned. This one's kind of worn out too, but again, it's like, these games weren't meant to be beautiful, nice things, right? People bought these and they earned them money, and then they threw them in a warehouse when they stopped earning money. So no one ever changed this ball. It's a pain in the butt to get in here. You have to undo like 3 screws, and no one ever wanted to do that.
That's so many.
Yeah, so
What is that yellow graphic up there? Is that like a chicken foot?
it's probably supposed to be one of these, which maybe is a branch, but so the ball has to follow the same path of travel, and when it's like a little teeny sandpaper ball, it's going to wear stuff out. But just put a new shiny 5/8 ball in there, Brian, you'll be fine, man. These things be careful with these finned posts.
Wow, yeah, those are
Those will
crazy.
break pretty easy.
And I imagine you can't really find replacement parts for that.
You can get some of these fins things. I don't remember if you can get these ones, but some of those still exist. That's a weird part. That's
If Kyle breaks one, then they may be available in about 6 months.
Yeah. Kyle makes parts happen when he's a klutz and breaks things. So, anywho, yeah, this is going to clean up nice. We're going to put LEDs in the general illumination. These posts.
We have them in stock.
Oh, good. Okay, I didn't know because there's multiple colors of them too. So maybe there's some colors that we don't have or something. But I remember for a while I couldn't find those. I broke one of the ones at the Pacific Pinball Museum's Jungle Lord, and I couldn't get them for a while. So now we have them again.
Nice. What do you call them?
Lane dividers. I mean, just call it a lane guide. It probably comes up.
Thank you.
These posts are not bad. These Williams posts don't fade as bad, but what I'll probably do with this game is like what I do with a lot of games is we'll replace the customer-facing posts, right? We'll get rid of, we'll replace the ones that are on the front half of the play field. Oh, good job.
Yeah, this one just pulled right out of the play field.
We'll repair that.
Thanks,
Hey,
Midge.
It's threaded, so it's just missing the nut on the underside.
yeah, or it doesn't look like it would have used a T-nut. It's too close to this hole, huh? We'll figure it out. Maybe that's where we can finally install a T-nut on the show.
Yes.
Except this doesn't have anything to grab to spin it to tighten it down.
Good point.
I would just install a nut and a washer.
A big washer and a nice elastic lock nut. Oh, I'm so excited to play this game. I'm excited to make the buzzer go. That's the first thing I'm going to fix next week. Do you remember the buzzer? When we hooked that?
Oh, yep, the buzzer was clicked.
That's great. Okay, I'm excited. This is going to go really fast. Unless we find something like really, really screwed up, since the electronics are good to go, we're not going to have a lot of problems with this game. The only thing that could be problematic to make this game play really nice would be these lane guides. Sometimes these get chopped up. These ones don't feel too bad. And you'll get some nasty ball hop because these will be worn out. The ball is ramming in. Oh, look at that. That's loose. You do not want to leave these things loose at all. Oh, that one's even worse.
Okay.
So we're going to want to address that. We might fill those holes and repair that. That's not bad.
Yep, and we have those lane guide fins in stock, so maybe we can take a few and show.
We have
Show
these
that
guys
on
in
the game.
stock? Oh, no,
the
these guys.
lane guide fins.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
I mean, I think Williams
In
did use the
several different
same.
colors.
Yeah, there's different colors, but yeah, I want to check these because ball hop is the worst.
Edge on them.
Yeah, they kind of do. Maybe I'll get new ones made.
Oh, and we should have those in stock too.
I hope so. I think there's a couple games that use like the same bottoms. Fire powers and blackouts and stuff used very similar, but sometimes they're different. So.
Some have holes for lights in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, ABT always be tightening.
That's right. It's the most important
Right.
part of pinball repair, taught to me by Chris. Tighten everything.
Including your head
But
bracket.
don't over tighten.
But don't over-tighten them, because then you break things, and people get mad at you. And you get mad at yourself, because you just made more work for yourself. But anywho,
Perfect.
what other questions do we have? Come on, there couldn't only be one
Return
question.
ball. Does anyone have any last
thanks.
questions for Kyle and TJ? We are so excited that TJ could join us today. He will not be back next week, but maybe he can join us on another show. Or maybe TJ, on your less busy days, you could join us and sit here like I am and watch Kyle perform surgery.
Badly.
I can get a camera set up at the shops and make Kyle really homesick.
What we need to do is we need to have Chris on this show, and you'll see how fast a real professional works.
So something interesting about Chris, and I've been saying it for years, is that I feel like he needs to do a podcast of just him working on a game, not necessarily talking to the podcast, but just explaining what he's doing. Because when he works through a game problem, he will just talk through the entire process, and this does this, and this causes this to happen, and if this is bad, then you should replace this. And the only 2 games use this thing. My audio is gone.
Oh no.
Did you unplug on accident?
Oh, did it fall off?
I don't think so.
Check the.
I'm digging it out of my phone.
Yeah, because I see the levels.
Yeah, this is on.
Oh,
Let's try that.
okay, restart.
How's he now? I mean,
So, can you hear me now?
Can you hear? Oh, they're like, oh my gosh, we can't hear any of it. They're freaking out. They
Yeah,
need to
it was
know.
all the secrets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got to
Trade
hear.
secrets. The FBI's been
Yes,
listening.
they said you are good.
Okay, so Chris Kuntz, if you get a chance to see him
Sorry, guys.
at a show in Northern California, and just watch from a distance while he's working on something, he will talk his way through, and I've said that he needs to do a podcast just of him working on games. Pacific Pinball Museum has Fix-It Nights on Monday nights, and I would go and learn just by being in the same room as Chris working on a game 10 feet away, because he will explain that this is broken and causes this weird thing to happen, that the solution is to do this, and it was like only 2 games had this possibility on them. He's a walking encyclopedia of information.
Him and Steve Young and Gordon Hassey need to sit down and write the actual
Oh my
encyclopedia
gosh,
of
I love
pinball.
Gordon Hassey. Do they still do y'all still do Monday night Fix-It Nights? Is that what
That's
you
been
call
on
it?
hold for almost a year now,
Yeah.
but I can't
Let
wait
me
for it to
know
come
when
back.
y'all start that back up. Maybe we can do something where we can get you guys some easy to set up live streaming gear that doesn't have to move, and then we can tap into that and actually play it.
What we need to
live
do is
on
we need to
Marco
go
TV.
there and participate
Yes.
because it's very fun.
Well, yeah,
so
but we can't
And
go
there's
there every
delicious
Monday.
pizza.
and there's
Our
delicious
camera can.
pizza. We'll make it happen. We've got a lot of things we can do in California. We just need the marketing people to say,
And we
you're the
need
marketing
California to open up.
person. Yeah, too.
Yeah, what are you talking about? The marketing people to say,
It's a
California's
underhanded.
shut down, bro.
The
We're gonna send everyone to California except Kyle. We're gonna make him stay.
Wow.
In Columbia.
I'll walk
That's
there.
what's gonna happen.
How's
How's
I've learned-
Pacific Pinball Museum during all of this chaos?
I'm not sure. I saw Michael 3 or 4 weeks ago. He seemed happy and also sad that pinball can't happen. But I've been less close to the museum in the last year, just in trying to not be super depressed about everything being closed.
It's so
For
awful.
sure.
I talk to Michael like once every other week or so, and he's been using this time to document everything in the museum. They've been photographing, doing high-resolution photographs of all the back glasses that they have and playfields and of the pinball machines. The Pacific Pinball Museum probably has the world's most complete collection of pre-1960 Gottlieb pinball machines. It's incredible. So he's been going through a lot of time and documenting stuff. So the downtime has been good, but it's just sad that the games aren't being enjoyed by bazillions of people, from all over the world that come to visit that place.
For sure. Going back up real quick, Brian asked, should I bother to clean the part of the lower playfield that I can't see that's underneath the upper playfield?
Well, you know that it's dirty and lose sleep over it at night?
Yeah, I mean, what if things start living under there?
If you're pulling the game apart completely, get what you can.
Yeah.
Air compressor and a vacuum cleaner go a long way also for getting the
Definitely.
dust out. But if you can't see it when it's assembled and it doesn't bother you that it's there, then do you really know it's there?
I think the best test is to use the vacuum cleaner and see what comes out, right? Because if you blow in there and a bunch of paint comes off, maybe you're going to want to take that off and see what's going on. But I'm not going to.
Yeah, Brian said, if I can't see it, is it really dirty?
Right.
I think it's like your fans, the overhead fans in your room.
Yeah, you can't see the dirt on top of
You should always
them.
dust those. You don't notice how dusty they are.
They're
But
all
if you
pretty
put a
dirty.
finger up there, you're gonna be like, I'm breathing this in every night.
But Brian, they aren't
every
super
once in a
difficult to separate. There is a separate wiring harness underneath that you can unplug. You remove the ramps. There are a few recessed large Phillips screws in the playfield that are 2 in the front, I think, and then 2 or 3 in the back, and you can kind of cock it up. So you can, but again, yeah, if you're going to lose sleep over it, then yes, but I'm not. But I'm also half
Not
lazy
much
and half
Kyle
don't
loses
care. so.
Sleep over.
One of the things that's usually at the Marco booth at the shows is the Novus triple pack, and I just saw it again today. It's a great deal at $10. Add it to your next order. It comes with the 3 tiny bottles of Novus, which are good for your toolbox, and then some cleaning cloths.
See, I
think doesn't Tap Plastics sell the individual bottles for $4 or $5 a piece?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is already a good deal.
We sell Novus for we get it's such a good deal through us. Like, even if you can get it locally, generally you might be able to get it for cheaper from us. But I mean, you use Novus to clean most of your games, right, TJ?
Yeah.
Do you use Novus on all of your games?
Most of them.
Most of them. See, there you go. From the man who owns hundreds of games, Novus does not make all of his games lose their art instantly. So,
I typically use Novus 2. I will sometimes use Novus 3 if it's really scratched or really ground in dirt. And then Novus 1 is really good for the plastics to give them shine.
Nice.
Yeah, I've started using it on ramps.
Thank you, Mitch, for posting that tri-pack. And don't forget, everyone, we do have the 24-hour free domestic shipping for orders over $99 code. Today is PT-Tiger Eye, all caps. Add all this stuff to your cart. Buy it. Save like almost $10 in shipping. Why not?
That's like a free Novus pack.
Yeah, exactly.
It's free Novus pack right there.
Buy 10 Novus packs and then save $10 and then this game's going to be
Brian
clean.
Said, I'm too afraid to use Novus on my solid states.
Why?
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 I mean, you just got to be gentle. You got to be smart. The rag, when you have damage on your playfield, the rag is going to do more damage than the Novus will, right? If you're using an orbital buffing pad to Novus clean your games, you're going to do lots of damage. But you're not going to do too much with just your hand. Novus is all I use to clean pinball games for the most part. And it's very, especially when they're dirty like this. You do a good deep cleaning with some Novus number 2 for some shine and to get the dirt out. And then, especially when they're in a home, like TJ said, they're in retirement mode. And you get to just clean them with a cloth most of the time. You don't even need a solvent.
TJ over here is like straight up show and tell mode. Awesome.
Yeah, well, I'm looking around and finding parts, and there's no prize for this, but...
Come to the blue camera over here.
No prize for it, but somebody can probably guess what this game is from. Or what game this part is from.
Anyone in the chat, can you guess what game this is from?
Anyone other than Steve?
Oh, wow.
As far as novusing an EM with ball swirls and dirt in the cracks, I would try it in an area that's not going to show. Try it in an inconspicuous area first.
Nice.
Wow, that's a really blown out hole.
Anyone? Magic Ditto says Lord of the Rings?
No. There's 8 inserts and some flashers on it.
So it's not Dragon Balls.
It's from a game that's in this room, but not within any of the camera views. I'll go see if I can find something else just to... Because I like game part trivia. It's fun.
Game part trivia is awesome. The first person who gets that right, we will send you Marco swag. So there you go.
One pinball.
One pinball. We'll send you something cooler than one pinball. This will be the last thing. Yeah, a pinball machine. So if you can guess where that part is from right now, before we stop the stream, because it's after 5 o'clock, we will.
It is 5:03.
Swag.
Wow.
It is 3:03 on the West Coast.
If we have the size, we will send you the shirt that Kyle is wearing. Not that exact shirt, but the same style. Pin not included. Show them the back of your shirt. Yeah, that's beautiful. Made by Free Gold Watch, also from the Bay Area. We love the Bay Area.
Well, trivia is my favorite thing. It's always fun when TJ and Chris and I are in the same room and they come up with these great, obscure, what is this game? Or what game has this? And it's always so much fun.
Wait, hold it back up.
Oh, hang on.
Can you
Let me go
hold
get
it
it.
back up, please? Yeah, anyone? Anyone?
Wow, this game was just really grody. Actually, there's a lot of color underneath this.
All right. Can anyone guess what this part is. And if you don't guess it, Party Animal from
Nope.
Vandergoogen? Nope. If no one in the chat gets it before we end the stream today, and you see this in the archives, send an email to marcotv@marcopinball.com with the answer. And if you were the first one to do that, then we will send you some swag for TJ's Pinball Parts Trivia.
I just sent you the answer.
I know the games that are in there for the most part too, and I'm like,
you're not going to be like, oh, that makes sense, but when you look at the game.
Game Show?
Nope.
Lady Luck?
Nope.
Nope.
Sorcerer?
Nope.
NASCAR?
Nope.
I don't think this game has been worked on stream yet.
Never. But people know it's here because we've talked about it. So any long-time listeners,
It's too damn.
viewers, sorry, we're not on radio.
Dale Earnhardt. Oh yeah, Magic, you're just guessing the games on the stream.
Are you on IPD?
You must think beyond the stream.
Dale Earnhardt. You mean Dale Jr.?
Beldonia. TNA.
Yes,
Come.
there you go.
Not roller games.
Not roller games.
Dang, does that count as a correct answer?
I guess it's not roller games, yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Your audio is gone.
Kyle's audio's gone. I think he pushed his butt on something. But it's about that time anyway. It's a beer o'clock for Colin and for Kyle.
That's right.
We still have pizza.
Yeah.
It's raid o'clock for
Pinball
us.
to play.
Who are we gonna raid, y'all? We have Horrible Pinball.
I like that name.
We
That's what I'm
have
gonna name my business.
R. Schultz 17. He's playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. Taxi. Horrible Pinball playing Taxi. Oh, Leet Sandman's playing Pirates of the Caribbean.
one?
Mystery Pinball Theater just went live.
Okay, well, guess
For
we
Monster
better go see
Bash.
Manu.
Since our theme today is the Bay Area, it only makes sense to have all of us head over to Mystery Pinball Theater 3000 stream
I think
momentarily.
so. It's always
Right?
a good time,
Yeah.
Finish off your work day, watching Manu be an incredible human, and playing pinball.
Yeah. NT Hit says, thanks for the stream, y'all rock. Can't wait to play some of TJ's games again.
I am looking forward to that.
It's Lit Pinball says, definitely not Hook. Oh, King of Steel? Kings of Steel?
Nope.
From Brian O'Neill? No. Magic Ditto said Hook.
Nope.
For
Brian O'Neill, Simpsons Data East.
there we go.
Brian
That's
O'Neill
it.
Wins.
Dang, Brian O'Neill, you got it.
So that is the
Simpsons
back
Data
panel set of lights for Data East Simpsons.
How did you get that? Brian, shoot us your best mailing address and your shirt size to marcotv@marcopinball.com, and we'll send you a shirt. And put a little note which Marco shirts you don't have already.
And I'll send you,
In case you
a
have
Jungle
that.
Lord specific gift. So don't buy any Jungle Lord stuff yet.
Oh, well, there you go. And you get a little special present.
For being a good guesser. And a good person.
Yay. He doesn't reveal his secrets. He summoned the pinball lords.
The Jungle
Got
Lords.
it. The Jungle Lords. Yeah, perfect.
Actually,
All right.
Jungle
Well,
Lord.
thank you everyone so much. Next week we'll be working on more Jungle Lords specific installs or fixes. Maybe the drop targets.
Well, maybe we'll do a mix of installing or replacing the flipper-based plate to the more modern style, and we will do a drop target deal. We'll figure. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to look at those drop targets.
It's a neat
Yes.
mechanism.
Thank you. It's
So
actually
thank you for having me on.
Thanks, TJ, for joining us.
I can't wait for
Thank you,
pinball shows
everyone.
to be a thing again so I can actually see you in person
Yay. I
and
know.
see everyone else.
Let me Mystery Pinball Theater 3000 queued up. Everyone stick around on Twitch so we can go raid Mystery Pinball Theater 3000. It's playing Monster Bash right now, or at least
Choice.
getting ready to.
I love me some Monster
I'm
Bash.
stuck on a Twitch commercial.
What?
All right.
Did you
Ready?
watch Betsy
Oh
when
yeah,
Monster
there he
Bash
is.
came out?
Look, he's chugging some water.
Like a proper streamer.
He looks so cool. Oh, and he's wearing a Pindigo shirt. Cool. All right, we're rating.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you. Let's
Thank
do
you.
a splash.
Thank you. Thank you very much.